Mississippi River with over 58,000 members. The town hosts a variety of events during the year, none larger than Lumbee Homecoming, which annually brings in over 30,000 visitors. We welcome you to visit our unique town and encourage you to read and learn more about Pembroke.
A wise person once said, if you give a man a wild-caught, perfectly seasoned Bojangler fried fish fillet sandwich with tangy tartar sauce and American cheese, you can feed him for a day. But if you teach a man that he should get 2 of them because it really is that good, you can go ahead and feed yourself too. After all, you probably deserve it. Get a tasty, flaky Bojangler fish fillet sandwich right now at Bojangler's. It's Bo time.
The town of Pembroke, incorporated in 1895, is a proud community rich in heritage. Pembroke is a quaint but growing town, regarded as the social, political, cultural, and commercial center for the Lumbee tribe, the largest American Indian tribe east of the Mississippi River with over 58,000 members. The town hosts a variety of events during the year, none larger than Lumbee Homecoming, which annually brings in over 30,000 visitors. We welcome you to visit our unique town and encourage you to read and learn more about Pembroke.
A nurse at Scotland Health is
a healer, touching patients' lives at every turn.
An ally, working as a trusted teammate with the best doctors. A blower of bubbles, part child whisperer, part kid at heart.
A winner, recognizing excellence through Daisy Awards.
and of course, a caring friend. Scotland Health nurses are many things to many people. But to us, they're simply better.
When a hospital invests in technology, skilled hands and keen eyes have new tools for diagnosing disease and making people better. At Scotland, we were the first in the region to provide 3D mammograms and robotic joint surgery, and the only hospital in the region to collaborate with Duke Health to offer both radiation and medical oncology for cancer patients. At Scotland, we invest in the newest technology for one simple reason: to deliver you closer care that's better by far.
A wise person once said, if you give a man a wild-caught, perfectly seasoned Bojangler fried fish fillet sandwich with tangy tartar sauce and American cheese, you can feed him for a day. But if you teach a man that he should get 2 of them because it really is that good, you can go ahead and feed yourself too. After all, you probably deserve it. Get a tasty, flaky Bojangler fish fillet sandwich right now at Bojangler's. It's Bo time.
The town of Pembroke, incorporated in 1895, is a proud community rich in heritage. Pembroke is a quaint but growing town, regarded as the social, political, cultural, and commercial center for the Lumbee tribe, the largest American Indian tribe east of the Mississippi River with over 58,000 members. The town hosts a variety of events during the year, none larger than Lumbee Homecoming, which annually brings in over 30,000 visitors. We welcome you to visit our unique town and encourage you to read and learn more about Pembroke.
A nurse at Scotland Health is
a healer, touching patients' lives at every turn.
An ally, working as a trusted teammate with the best doctors. A blower of bubbles, part child whisperer, part kid at heart.
A winner, recognizing excellence through Daisy Awards.
and of course, a caring friend. Scotland Health nurses are many things to many people. But to us, they're simply better by far.
The town of Pembroke, incorporated in 1895, is a proud community rich in heritage. Pembroke is a quaint but growing town, regarded as the social, political, cultural, and commercial center for the Lumbee tribe, the largest American Indian tribe east of the Mississippi River with over 58,000 members. The town hosts a variety of events during the year, none larger than Lumbee Homecoming, which annually brings in over 30,000 visitors. We welcome you to visit our unique town and encourage you to read and learn more about Pembroke.
A nurse at Scotland Health is
A healer, touching patients' lives at every turn.
An ally, working as a trusted teammate with the best doctors. A blower of bubbles, part child whisperer, part kid at heart.
A winner, recognizing excellence through Daisy Awards.
and of course, a caring friend. Scotland Health nurses are many things to many people. But to us, they're simply better by far.
The town of Pembroke, incorporated in 1895, is a proud community rich in heritage. Pembroke is a quaint but growing town, regarded as the social, political, cultural, and commercial center for the Lumbee tribe, the largest American Indian tribe east of the Mississippi River. The town of Pembroke, incorporated in 1895, is a proud community rich in heritage. Pembroke is a quaint but growing town, regarded as the social, political, cultural, and commercial center for the Lumbee tribe, the largest American Indian tribe east of the Mississippi River with over 58,000 members. The town hosts a variety of events during the year, none larger than Lumbee Homecoming, which annually brings in over 30,000 visitors. We welcome you to visit our unique town and encourage you to read and learn more about Pembroke.
A wise person once said, if you give a man a wild-caught, perfectly seasoned Bojangler fried fish fillet sandwich with tangy tartar sauce and American cheese, you can feed him for a day. But if you teach a man that he should get 2 of them because it really is that good, you can go ahead and feed yourself too. After all, you probably deserve it. Get a tasty, flaky Bojangler fish fillet sandwich right now at Bojangles.
When a hospital invests in technology, skilled hands and keen eyes have new tools for diagnosing disease and making people better. At Scotland, we were the first in the region to provide 3D mammograms and robotic joint surgery, and the only hospital in the region to collaborate with Duke Health to offer both radiation and medical oncology for cancer patients. At Scotland, we invest in the newest technology for one simple reason: to deliver you closer care that's better by far.
A wise person once said, if you give a man a wild-caught, perfectly seasoned Bojangler fried fish fillet sandwich with tangy tartar sauce and American cheese, you can feed him for a day. But if you teach a man that he should get 2 of them because it really is that good, you can go ahead and feed yourself too. After all, you probably deserve it. Get a tasty, flaky Bojangler fish fillet sandwich right now at Bojangles. It's Bo time.
A nurse at Scotland Health is
Hello everybody and welcome into this week's version of UNCP Game of the Week. I'm John Gross, so happy to have you all with us here on the UNCP Sports Network. Really excited to cover one of the couple of wrestling dual meets that we had here at UNCP this year. This time it was a top 25 showdown between a couple of regional opponents as UNC Pembroke played host to Limestone College. And to break down all the action today, 2 guys that you all know very well, Jonathan Miller and Tyler Riccozzi, both of the UNCP wrestling team. Guys, how are we doing? Yeah. Good stuff. So I filled them in before. Basically what will happen, in case you weren't with us for the baseball game, we will be rebroadcasting the Limestone broadcast, a UNCP Limestone wrestling broadcast, with commentary from these 2, and you can submit questions as well. Make sure to hit us up on social media at UNCP_sports if you have questions for Jonathan or Tyler. So without further ado, let's get to the action. Guys, if you can recall, as either individually or as a team, heading into this Limestone dual meet, Jonathan, we'll start it off with you. Where do you think you personally were and who you guys were as a team at this point of the season?
I think we were, it's kind of like a pivotal moment where we really wanted to establish ourselves in the conference. And these are some of our rivals, some of the dudes we face every year. Tooth and nail fight. So we just wanted to establish our dominance and see how well we do.
Tyler, anything to add to that?
It's Limestone. When we're all of our conference and one more going on our life, pretty much we're going back and forth for the months of the year. So we're pumped because especially since we're early this year, I think last year traveling away, well, definitely messed with us a little bit. So I think we're going to see the first few months of the year and also it's super exciting.
So take me through, Jonathan, we'll start it off with you again as we get things set here on the broadcast. Take me through your mindset heading into a matchup against an opponent who you're fairly familiar with. You know the magnitude of this. What are you thinking? What are you going through?
Matches like this, you want to come out strong and just try and hit them early and hit them as hard as you can. So it's up to every single member of the team to really, go out there and do their best and get in their head early on so the whole team feels the effect of it.
And Tyler, Jonathan just mentioned that, kind of individually you're working, but you're doing this as a team. Obviously, in a dual meet, it's head-to-head. Tournaments, kind of, sort of, but it's a little bit more individual. Is there a difference in approach in dual meet versus tournaments?
Definitely, I think in the meet, it's definitely like the team collaborating, especially in the event, just those 10 matches that are going, and you can there, each score points, the event, and out there in the next match, and it's the crowd fired up, and especially if you're at home, you're the best guy at home, you fire up in the house, and I think really does play a difference. We need to definitely difference for that, and I actually like doing this way better, and then going back in the drop, exactly what's going to go on, the gas will be taking that, so it's a little less hectic in the tournament, and it's almost a bit fine and seeing around a little better, so it's awesome.
All right, so let's get things started here on the broadcast. And 1 second here. As we wait, guys, how have you been doing these last few weeks? Obviously some difficult times around the world and certainly impacting college students as well.
Classes in the back, all that. But it's really nice, everyone's making this control, going to be controlled, so want to get everything safe, want to get everyone safe, so this is the worst thing that happens, and I guess I'm not really too bad.
All right, so as we get things started here between UNCP and Limestone, I may have a second here, I guess, to talk about the way that this season ended. And Tyler, you were up in South Dakota, and we talked about this a little bit on Brave Hawk Talk, but it was a season that was cut short, unfortunately, due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Again, I know you touched on it in the podcast, but for those of us who weren't able to listen to it, what was that experience like for you?
It was crazy. I don't know if I can go to anything again. It was just, it was kind of all of a sudden. It was kind of like I felt a big one sentence throughout the season, and then I was there put a period and exclamation point at the end to just been kind of really going through it. But still haven't taken that. I'm sure it will someday, but for now I'm just kind of walking away because slowing down, getting good, trying to think about life and what's the good and what's the next thing and stuff like that. So, but it was weird. It was like really weird. I didn't even believe it was there, but I went down and didn't really match it, so it's kind of, I was thinking, but it's kind of sucked. But, like I said, I didn't get it, and I still got on anyway.
And this was a season of winning for your program as a whole. I mean, both of you in the conference ranks, Jonathan, all-conference selection, Tyler, you won your weight class, you win the MEC, OT wins Conference Coach of the Year, you win the Super Regional. Jonathan, what was this season like for you guys?
It was nice right up to the end. It was just a nice, it felt like it was definitely hard, but all the wins and all the success we were experiencing during the year made it feel like all the work we were putting in was really worth it. It really bonded us as a team through the hard times, was traveling all the time. Got to see family and friends and having to balance that with work. So it was a lot, but it was paying off really well. The success really helps ease the pain I have.
Tyler, anything to add to that?
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. Success definitely helps ease the pain. All traveling, late traveling, tough practices. Like to say all the time, it's fun and you don't really feel the pain.
All right, so as we take a look at the screen here, we have an exhibition matchup, and what are some of the benefits of being able to wrestle in an exhibition match like this?
It really gives the other guys on the team an opportunity to wrestle and put their hard work out there. He's been an awesome partner too. He's a great real partner. He's one of my national partners. So really awesome. It's a good way to start off the team too. This is our first one thing as well. First one the best we did. So it's nice to see all the work that some guys put in. It's okay coming down. And also just give the other guys the action to do one time to hold up and take a line break. Because there's only an hour from there and so it helps out the other guys in the team too, just kind of get more time.
All right, so now we get things started, and it's Nick Daggett at 125, a guy who has established himself as one of the top wrestlers at 125 in the country. Jonathan, what makes him so good?
His attitude. He really, anytime he's facing somebody, he'll tell me before, he said it, he was facing one of my high school friends, and he said, I'm going to beat him, I'm going to attack him. And he went and did it. So he just knows he's going to win, and he goes out and exercises it, shows everybody.
All right, so here we go. Floor's open to you guys. Whatever you guys are seeing, you're the experts here. And Nick Daggett, again, 125, one of the best in the weight class in the country.
And this one was I love meetings to work and start off with Nick Daggett. And last we had to get that 100 going. Definitely not the most intimidating you had, but it's like we ain't gotten the mustache. But that feeling, he'll take you down and once he did it, he definitely goes as well on this guy. So you never know, he shot that guy, and he's already, 10 seconds in the match, but 2-0.
The funniest thing is, it's actually a really good contestant. You won't be able to tell with a lot of people in Nick's caliber face. It's just like everybody's at a base level almost, just because he's going to go out there and he's going to do what he wants to.
Yeah, I'm not going to do it. And for everyone who doesn't know how wrestling like this is the first period. It's 3 minutes, and it feels like 30 minutes out there. But the next period is going to be 2 minutes, and the third period is less than 2 minutes. So it's 7 minutes on the map, it feels like forever when we're out there. So when it's 45 seconds, it feels like you're not going to go 1 minute. So, making escape for the problem, so Nick is kind of got to go. It's going to be 2-1. Actually, it's an interesting matchup too, because Nick's a lot taller than this guy. Sometimes when you're shooting, you think you're at the advantage, and then they go again, stuffs his leg right in, not to take him down there into shoulders. This kid actually got this kid Nick this freshman year.
What was that, John?
This kid beat Nick in overtime, and you can hardly tell when Nick playing with him. Those are the two. When for that counts, however many counts pretty much. There's how many back points to get, so they pull back points to get, you got 8-1, already in the first period, 20 apiece.
Right now, he's just working to expose his back to the mat as many times as he can until the score's so high, the other guy can't recover. So he's just fed on his back over and over again.
Well, that's what we're doing for him, the big kind of he's doing there. That's pretty cool. Actually, I didn't remember this kid didn't get good overtime. He's freshman year. I think we were home. We were home when we actually won down there, I'm pretty sure. I like I said, you can't even tell. That's been my own that it worked for 2 years. I see the time online, but his first period should be coming to an end. Nick fixes there again for 8 It's not another period, and after the first period, usually flip-flops that allow the negative opponent to have the choice of position. They can either stand the feet, go down, or go on top of the second period, and then go with the shoes. Instead of the second, and the choice to start the third. That's how pretty much the basics of the wrestling match works. And obviously, if you go out of bounds, and then go something, you get something, and you come in, or to stop the match, and come back to the center, after the right thinking.
Yeah, I can't get the ice, so I'm not sure if it's somebody being penalized or if they're in between periods right now. But what we want at the first period, one of the guys get a choice whether to choose top or bottom, choose their position to come out of, and they'll try and get to their escape and continue wrestling from there.
Clock line is fine, and you can stop and fix it, not maintain and make sure it's right. I'm not saying, I think some seconds, so I don't really think period.
Looks like whoever's choice was chose neutral. Nick's real fast, he's always going to dive for those legs. And wrestling's really an effort to get the other person on the ground, and the easiest way to do that is to get their legs and try and put it down from there. This guy's using a front headlock though. That's one of his favorite positions because he's short, able to really manipulate his opponents. So he's just trying to bang on Nick's head, but Nick's really good with these.
What on the score on the play?
I think they're brought the opponent's shots just because of how big it is.
Yeah, and that's the difference right there. The kick out on Nick's legs was having a very hard time finishing, but Nick touches this guy's legs and then take down every time, so it really beneficial to have good defense and both your offense. And the players are coming down, they take his shots tired. If you can't score on it, definitely listen to the
That wrestling's a big mental battle. There's nothing worse than exerting all your effort and not even being able to get a scratch on the guy.
And that's the worst thing that Nick did a good job of letting us do that, so make him work for that. I can't think that guy didn't score on him, so that's a perfect defensive strategy right there. It's another one, again, too. This was this big period, he basically showed neutral to try to take Nick down, so he's using top and bottom, and he hadn't even really gotten close. When the stall call on that kid, they're getting pushed out of bounds first, and so wow, we would be 9-2. That was the second phone call. Yep, 9-2.
You'll see the dude, he's getting in, the Limestone guy, he can get in on shots. It's just they know when they're coming, he's already ready to deal with them. So he's either going to try and spin around or he'll just sit and wait for a stalemate. It's pretty much up to him how the match goes.
Yeah. Look at a very busy first period with basically in the match now. This kid's using a lot of energy to try to finish this thing down the end, which is still almost important.
It's a really rare shot for Nick Daggett. He usually goes but for him to choose both, it just kind of shows how dominant he is, how confident he feels in wrestling.
Yeah. Okay, so this third period, Nick can mix choice, so he chose down. Now we're going to wrestle on the mat. And we're all going to do it in a few seconds with that, and use the 22. And then really, it's important to score a lot of points. So now it makes up by 8 points. Instead of just getting 3 points for our teammate in this match, we win by 8 points to get 4. And then those extra points matter. You know, if you have guys that do get bonus points, like 10 or maybe the same, we call it win by 1 game. that's big for good, especially against our rivals and the next team.
Kind of off camera now, but you have to imagine the whole team is watching. So our team is on our side. We're watching Nick. We're cheering him on and trying to give him as much energy as we can. His side watching him. So it really becomes like out for the whole team. You're beating their teammate that badly. It kind of demoralizes everybody, brings the energy down. So you want to punch him in the mouth and punch him hard to try and really set the tone for the rest of the match.
Especially when we're especially the rest of these guys. They're definitely feeling already. They're opening down to be 12-2 and getting caught his phone and our guys live. It's an awesome way to start off the game. I think the one next match too, the recognize up to 157, this is being match on his watch and stretch and move that flies wild as heck on the sideline. So don't require a lot of effort just watching. We got 14-3 right now. About to be 14-4, just going to light it up. I think we're going to hear 14-4.
Great thing about watching the wrestler, he really doesn't get tired. Just shoots and shoots. The pace is incredible.
Yeah, it's unbelievable how you can keep the same pace. This kid doesn't look like it, but I know he's dying. He's tired, And I gotta say, he would not take that shot.
There's really nothing better than your hand raised home. The home you want.
That's still
I'm curious, you guys keep talking about how loud it can be at home or how loud both benches are, and obviously your coaches are yelling instructions to you as well, and you're in the thick of a very intense battle. How much are you able to not only listen but really internalize what your coach is trying to tell you?
Almost none of it. To be honest, I'll try and I'll make eye contact. In some moments you can hear coaches' voices, and some coaches have like particular voices that just cut across and you can hear them over everything. But for the most part, it's just noise, and you're so honed in and there's so much adrenaline, you don't really even think of what's going on around you. Just focus on the other guy.
I can attest to that. Sometimes I don't even communicate, I just kind of wrestle. I'm trying to look over and I got a match or something, they try to get the corners and whether it's breaking the match. But other than that, I can hardly hear anyone. I hear some people and some listen, but not really. I'm just listening for the next whistle and stuff like that. So. Jay Paul McIntyre, he wrestled one of the best guys. This guy, they recorded regional international range with Jay wrestling. This kid is pretty good, and Jay is awesome. And so right now, 0-0, both we're up 4-0 in the team, the next one. We're in a good spot here regardless.
It's funny seeing Limestone as our rivals. Jay and this guy are kind of rivals. They've gone back and forth. I can't remember his last name. I remember his first name, G. But they seem to wrestle almost every year. They've been on and off for an injury this year. It actually ended the season prematurely, like shortly after this. But yeah, he's one of those guys who's always going to go out there and give his all for his team.
Yeah, you can see it now, even when they're doing shots, trying to finish. You can see whatever finishes point is playing. This kid doesn't look like it on the map once again. I think he's like 6'1". This is hard.
Looks big. Majid Corbett is his name.
Yeah, Corbett, that's what it is. Yeah, he's good. Actually, him and Jay both went up the league. I mean, we were wrestling each other at 125 a couple of years ago, last year or something, and then now we're up in the class of 123, so something chasing each other on those. Sometimes in the first period, it's tough to kind of gauge like what your opponent's going to do, especially when these two guys know what each other do and know what their hands are. Sometimes it's kind of match, their energies, try to feel them out. That's why I'm not optimistic in this sport yet. There was on that shot deep, but like I said, it's hard and always hard to finish. Other than that, no big acts. Just kind of trying to pull each other out and not make any mistakes.
You'll see this a lot when a guy wants to rest or really doesn't want someone who's offensive to keep going on him. They want to slow him down. Corbin's doing a great job of holding Jay's elbows and pulling him in tight so that he really can't move his arms too much. He's constricting his movement. They broke that up because, like I said, there wasn't a whole lot of action due to they wanted to get a fresh start and try and get the match moving a little faster.
Sometimes when nothing's happening, you have to call straight away, those games, and we'll start over, basically, just start back in the same area between start. First period ends 0-0, and that's not a bad spot at all, no matter who you are. And so, looks like Limestone's going to take down, Jay's going to finish some time.
And again, a reminder to everyone watching or listening, you can submit questions to Jonathan and Tyler on our social media pages. And Tyler, we actually do have a quick question for you. Why are you so cool? That's a question that was submitted on Instagram.
My mom probably said that I'm not cool at all, but no, I don't know. I don't think I'm cool, but thank you because I really thought of that. Is that you have a name? But they're not disclosed yet.
I think
Tess Canning.
I think we have a name.
Tess Canning.
Tess C.
Oh yeah, that's my friend. Sarah Company. She's biased, though. I've known her for a while, so I'm still not cool.
A little biased as well, but I could definitely say Tyler's a cool cat. Really humble. You're not going to get him to say stuff.
Yeah, no, I don't like talking about myself too much, but thank you, Jonathan. Appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, man.
We have one for Jonathan. Why is he so strong?
And
lots of days and lots of sunlight.
Too much of the rice and vegetables outside.
There you go.
I mean, so I feel talking. Looks like the school screen when the Limestone got that takedown, the Jay was able to tackle it easily. And so the super close match still in the second period. Usually you see guys kind of pull away, they kind of get tagged in the match before kind of pulled away. This is when we got tired in the second period. But yeah, we got the match up even. And the match goes on, but we're still toe-to-toe down to the wire, so it's an awesome matchup.
John, we do have a question for you, actually. This, I don't know who this is from. We can get confirmation, but the question is, why are you so strong?
Oh, okay. See if I can answer that another way. I don't know, we just work out as a wrestling team. We work out, 5 days, 6 days a week. We live 3 days out of the 5 days we work out. And then we have a thing called grade check that we have to do. We just do pull-ups and push-ups before practicing. So we're just always exhausting our bodies, trying to reach peak fitness so we can be the best we can on the mat.
And once we have a little bit of a lull here in the action, I do want to ask you guys about the training that goes into wrestling, because I don't think any other sport can hold a candle to what you guys go through to get prepped for the season. So we'll talk about that in a little bit here, as Jaquan is now trailing 5-1 in the third.
Watching your teammate, breathing pain, something that you see every now and then, just because of how physical the sport is. But with wrestling, your previous injuries can just really be exploited like that. And not to say that Corbin did it on purpose, but it happens a lot where, if you come in with a messed up knee or messed up shoulder, it can really get a lot worse through wrestling. So it was kind of hard seeing Jay on the ground like that, but in 2024.
For sure. I didn't know CNC, they actually took the music off, if I remember correctly, kind of split their music, alright, but guys are good at you got some knowledge more out there, so if something's tape, that's the first thing I'm grabbing personally, Our trainer actually, 3 years ago, I hurt my thumb real bad, and our trainer made to take photos like that, so one guy wouldn't grab one, he wouldn't know which one to grab. Speaking of training, it's a little more than training, he's awesome. Shout out to that meeting in pieces here. So, I see nothing that they're going to get up. So, the way we this year, they bring out of switch positions. If you call injury time, your opponent has a choice of position, no matter what position you're ready for injury. So, one can set it down and try to get another point here. So, 6-1 instead of him still being on top.
He recorded, I guess he kind of smells blood in the water, but Jay's not want to give up too easily, so he's just giving him everything back that he's giving him. Nice stuff.
Yeah, super nice stuff. That's good move. Because you get to it all the time, there's always some bad. It's not good going to practice. This is a tough situation because it's 6-3 and 3rd, so a tough situation to be all right and try to turn it, and then cut and try to take it down again. But it's all about strategy. It's still super tight guys.
And as we talked about, you're not really able to listen to your coaches, so it's really up to you, I guess, what avenue you'd want to take. I guess that'd be the case.
Sometimes you can look over and, catch a glimpse of coach, like, for example, 2 seconds ago when Jerry went one of those and said that they wanted to reach, and we were not shouting that team, so he was smart to look over and see us there, so that made us pull 7 instead of 6, but it gives them a little more chance to turn it, off the takedown, to get more points, essentially, but yeah, like I said before, for the most part, I can run the game, especially in the end year. And my big house fire here is definitely put it there from here too. So, not a good combination.
As the national downs, Limestone's guy Corbett is trying his best to increase the score so that his team can get some extra points, but Jay's doing his best to try and win this. It really gets desperate sometimes when you're down and you're trying to do the best for your team. It can be a really rough situation.
So 2 points to the takedown there, and that wraps up the second weight class. And we do have another question for both of you. What is the biggest thing you've had to overcome in your careers? John, we'll start with you.
Just losses. They come and they hit you hard, and they come when you least expect it. Sometimes, you wrestle somebody you think you got beat, and come in there and end up losing yourself, or you train all the time and you think about it mentally. You dream about wrestling in matches and in front of arenas, but those losses can humble you, and sometimes it's hard to come back and give it your all.
I definitely think the losses suck. It's almost impossible to go through the season without a loss. And I credit a lot of people that are able to do that and go in the field. That's a lot of matches, a lot of consistency you gotta have. But personally, it was mostly my take on that.
Appreciate it.
For me, it was not a belief in myself. Like the confidence I have. And I'm definitely not the strongest guy. I'm not the quickest and not the slickest. Definitely not thinking I'm not the best. But, if I believe I'm the best and I believe I'm practicing drill every day, then we're going to work out there no matter what.
Well, this guy on screen here looks pretty familiar. Jonathan, let's break this down.
Well, they said, I can't remember what this guy's name was, But I think he was starting at the beginning of the season. He wasn't starting. Later on, I actually faced another one of their wrestlers in regionals and ended up losing a close match. But here, I was just determined to go out there, do my best to put points on the board for my team, especially after seeing my friend at that. It was kind of hard to watch, so I was really ready to leave some stress and put everything out there on the mat.
So fun fact for you, this kid's from Maryland. I wrestled with this kid in high school.
Really?
I'm glad to meet you.
Alex Delaney, his name is.
What was that?
His name is Alex. Alex Delaney.
This is basically, this is, oh yeah, you're right, and maybe not from you, early acting Maryland.
Okay.
Yeah.
A weird wrestler. His body was just contorted type phase, but yeah.
Well, definitely not Sherman. He worked 6'2", he got some awesome days, putting down 3 times already in the first. It's almost like another Nick Daggett match. In the first period, he really did scoring a lot of points and kick ones and breaking the kick before he even his choice in the second.
I think if anything, I was probably moving a little too much. You see, sometimes in the first period you come out too hot. You have to slow yourself down so you don't, lose everything at one time. You want to keep some gas in the reserve. Yeah, here I'm just pressuring. I'm not exactly looking for a takedown right now, but I'm just trying to get him into a good position so that I can take him down when I want to.
If you're not scoring, you can see he was kind of pushing him all over the mat. If he can move up to the center, if he's forcing him to take a move and circle back and down, and even when you're not scoring points, you can still kind of lead the battle on your feet. Because there would be a nice takedown right there, too. Now this is what it's doing.
So right there, I'm just trying to get to my feet as fast as I can and battle back, trying to take him down a couple more times. Well, I might just take him to the back, I just can't remember.
Yeah, big team points. So now you get a pin, that's 16 points. Instead of just 4 net guys, we went with the 132 1 per guy. Pin is 16 points. So that's big, that's definitely big. That's 2 minutes to 41 technically, so to say.
Really, he kind of just pulled me into himself. I was in on a shot pretty deep. He panicked and put himself on his back. We got to capitalize. Anytime someone's on their back, you have to just make sure you try and keep them there. You try and come back on.
Yeah, that's why you have to do that.
There you go. Jonathan Miller is the winner. Now, you were kind of mentioning that, okay, I think I'm about to do this, might be doing that. Do you recall, because I know a lot of athletes have like a photographic memory of pretty much everything in their athletic career. Do you recall like every single match from your career?
Definitely not. No, not at all. Oh, that's just me though. I know some people are different and mine's very different. But some tournaments you're wrestling 5 matches, some you're wrestling 6 or 7 over the course of a day or 2. So it's a lot of up to 40 matches, 40, 50 matches a season. So I have a vague recollection of every match, but I don't remember a lot of opponents I wrestled in class.
What's their favorite movies from here?
Maybe 149 times in the same color
What's
because
his favorite match they've ever done?
super tough guy to wrestle. I wrestled him twice more time. I was time for I actually wrestled this Limestone kid too, so I'm shooting Sanders on this match and stuff. He helps out. This kid was up on 57 earlier this year. I was a beautiful headlock by saying I can't believe you with 2 points.
Then guys, there's really no good way to wrestle him. Anytime you get on his leg, he has an answer for anything you do. He just is great.
It's always done and I was a beautiful double leg shot by seeing right there too. He's a super tough guy to wrestle. And actually, so this Limestone kid, I wrestled this kid twice in my career. He doesn't look like him, he's pretty strong. The same with this blue guy foot right there on that shot. So let's say I can't say anyways. Going bounce here. Sandy's up 2-0, the team's up 10-2, Jonathan's pinning in a pretty good spot right here.
Limestone gets a reversal. So the object is to get out when you're on bottom. So if someone's on top of you, you want to get out. But you can flip over and get on top of them, and that's going to be 2 points as opposed to the 1 point you get for just escaping. He's trying to ball him up in a cradle. That's a pinning position. Sammy obviously doesn't want to go with it because if he gets pinned, obviously it'll match it. A lot of points for him.
That's a lot of credit to Sammy where fighting that off. That's a tough game to watch. Good wrestler get any credit. So I'd say being on top of the wrestler is and how strong he is and how good he is to wrestle.
Do you guys have a specific match, whether it's individual or as a team, that stands out as your favorite in your time here at UNCP? Tyler, we'll start with you.
That's a tough one because all our matches are close. I was because I got on the team, got the pin winning. But I had a lot of tough, tight matches. Let's see here. Off the top of my head, if I had to pick one, at least a home rule, I would definitely say one that we had New Day a few years ago in my sophomore year. That was the conference title. That was the conference title. And the kid actually took me down and really riding out one period in the match. And it was super hard to do, especially if you're down wide with the 1 point in. It was super hard, but I managed to do it. And, the crowd was crazy, it was awesome. It was a great thing for me too. And I actually ended up beating that kid in overtime at the regional tournament to go to nationals for the first time. So it was an awesome thing to get it home too. My family watched the line. Off the top of my head, that was a pretty cool match during my time here. Especially since we ended up winning that team and we're conference champs that year too.
Sammy's getting a reversal right here. But off the top of my head, I'm having trouble thinking of one. But I guess I'd say the Pembroke Classic my sophomore year, the finals match, or the redshirt freshman year. My finals match ended up being really close. I won by 1 point against some guy from UCF. He's like a club national champ. He was really tough. He had beat me the year before. And yeah, so getting that win was important for me, like personally, kind of secured my spot as a starter for the year. And just a tough match. And of course it was home, and it was one of my first big accomplishments as a college wrestler.
Sandy's up 14 right now. One thing we like to do, we call these legs, like a leg rider, and not the wrestling terminology there, but basically what I'm doing is he's just kind of flipping his leg in between the other guy's legs, moving on top, and in practice you can't do it really sucks, especially when the second part and he throws that over in practice. I'm like, oh, he just had to go already. But yeah, I feel that good thing, you know. There's nothing you can do there, and Sam's super good with those. So, this kind of constitution bond again, but you know, you got to score the constantly again, so maybe 22 runs with the second, standing up. You just flat, we're not, can't really get anything. I promise you, it's not food, you need to get out of that.
Kind of the specialty of one of our 165, Caleb Warner, puts both his legs under him. And what he's trying to do right now is what's called a power hat, where he pushes his head down and he uses his arm as a lever to twist to kind of force the guy's shoulder onto the mat. But he seems to be having trouble getting it here. But just having those legs in is enough to keep the guy from getting up.
And actually, a few seconds ago, we actually hit the Starman. You know, he's not moving, he's not working, so that's awesome. I think he's hit again. So that's another plus. The same as a 5-2 instead of 22.
I really sympathize for that guy on the bottom because sometimes it's really hard to get up, and you're looking at the ref, and he calls you for stolen. It's really frustrating. So you're trying to hard up, and just can't do it.
Well, it's I ain't getting called for stolen because personally, I think game on our team stall as well. We work the score, like the insult, and the ref called me September for stolen.
And you talk about being on the mat in a situation like that, and you can't move, and maybe you're being twisted in all different types of ways. At least from my vantage point, that seems like it hurts a lot. Do you guys get some pain down there?
It's painful, it hurts, and that's what I'm feeling with it, but we just gotta tough it out. This is also important for Sandy too, because a 42 minutes down on the mat, at least on the Limestone pitch perspective, is exhausting. It's absolutely exhausting. So going into the third period, you know, even though he's got the advantage, he's on top, it's, you know, it don't matter if you're all tired, you don't be getting moved out for the whole period.
Being on the mat that long can really wear you down mentally. Where your adrenaline's not as high. You're trying to get up so long. They've been limiting your movement. It was hard when you get right up to try and continue that, to just keep going sometimes. Get your body warm up.
Ways to try to throw a leg on Sandy, kind of give him a taste of redness and just lose out on nowhere. I just reversed him, goes right back in. Yeah, this poor kid is right, but that's the moralizing. Now it's 8-2. Then you probably got riding times, means if you ride the guy for a minute, and at the end of the match you get an extra point. So essentially, this point of the match is 9-2 or 9-3. That's good.
3-0. Sandy's let back up, basically showing that he can take him down whenever he wants to. Takes him down and lets him back up, just showing him, I know that I took you down, I could hold you down, but I'm going to do it again.
Oh yeah, you see how smart that kid is to get up. He just doesn't really want to be out there right now. Which also gets our bench fired up. We love breaking guys, gets our fans involved and everything like that. But that was awesome win for Sandy right there. What is up? The last time I thought that would be the third period.
It's another 2. Actually, he's up 8 points, so that's a major for our team. So that's going to be 4 points, as opposed to 3, which is a standard.
The guy who the whole time was red, he does not want that thing back into the team, puts it into those. Went down his head and lost his win. Now we're up 14-3 as a team, running 157. That's awesome. And this is where some of the best guys are in the lineup. The Limestone such wrestling. Our first 4 guys that come out, and I can't believe 14-3. That was awesome.
Tyler, you're taking on Sean Glasgow now, 157. What do you remember about kind of what went down here?
I remember him too. He was stupid, but this is one of the most athletic and strongest kids I've ever wrestled in a match. I actually wrestled him 3 times, 2 or 3 times this past year, and I couldn't figure out what to do. He's super quick, and he's with the opposite leg. Something I pay attention to when guys come out with that leg big lead lift, and he actually leads with that non-movement leg, which is different from what most guys are. And he uses it to advantage because he's quicker on that side. So, I mean, as you can see over there, he just kind of snapped me down and come behind me. Super strong, super quick. I really want to get it.
I think I noticed with this guy, and Tyler did it as well, just continually moving those feet. So he didn't want to guess where he's going. He's not going to be there for long. Score is a little lag behind, but it should be 2-1.
I was going to say, and shortly, I was streaming a little bit ahead. It is corrected, so fear not.
I'm just messing with you. There's another thing, and we've got a red line there, kind of similar to what Sammy was using last time. It's a different way of moving the guy down. That's tough to do something there. That's showing a guy that's so strong. I suppose there's 2-0, but I know it's 4-1. After 2.
Yeah, this wrestling is the one sport that our graphic software does not have a input for. So this was Dave, the other broadcaster, who was running that. So it's all manual, so it might be a little bit behind, yeah.
No problem at all. If I remember correctly, the lessons period was just kind of boring. We're both just trying to score the whole game. He's trying to do his third take, I'm trying to fight for my first, and so we're both trying to just kind of go head to head with each other's moves and set up some matches, and so.
First,
The one time we went to actually do the feed, I looked over and do the feed.
between periods, most guys choose to go down because getting up is usually pretty. It can be easy, but sometimes some guys make it harder. But it's almost like an easy way to get 1 point. When Tyler chooses down, gets up, no real trouble. Scores be 4-3. It's one of those moments where OT's just in your ear, just yelling, and it sounds like just noise until he gets right up as close to you and distraction.
Yeah, you do it more active, so yeah, so my thing says 6-2, that's the right score. So right here, what we don't down line is I've got to keep trying to get out. Essentially, even though it's got to keep takedowns, I can still escape, make it 6-4, and get one takedown and tie it up. This is probably my best chance right there offensively. I've got my hands, my fingers, like I said, just keep that like really, really get my hands locked on legs.
That's one of the best things about recreational sports. You're always in the match, make it pretty, you're always back on, you can go any way up to the last bell, so you gotta keep wrestling until it's over.
Yeah, I've been in matches where I was losing, where I was thought after that, because the kids, you gotta be really wrestling, because this ain't expected you're out there, something bad can happen.
Well, we have a second here. We do have another question submitted. I don't know who submitted it, but Justice, wait, what Marvel?
Marvel or Justice?
Marvel or Justice League. Forgive me, as I'm not a huge superhero person, but Marvel or Justice League?
It's Marvel. It's not Marvel or DC, Marvel or Justice League?
Yeah, that's the DC.
DC then, I guess,
the
yeah.
Justice people, I don't know.
Definitely Marvel.
Still getting down, but I've done Marvel, so I haven't seen. The third period, 6-4. I think it's about to be,
If you were to ask our assistant coach Blake today, he would definitely say Marvel. He also said that he was inspired by Spider-Man. He's one of his heroes in real life.
the little baby always has a bunch of Spider-Man gear on, it's the coolest thing ever.
Now, which superhero do you think would be the best wrestler?
If I was a wrestler, I'd say the Hall. I don't know if it's like to be strong. But I just want the Hall and just go kill everyone at those days.
The Hulk probably would win. I'd say either the Hulk or Black Panther, just because he's just like a compact specialist. So I'm sure he knows his way around some wrestling.
Absolutely.
Combined superheroes, that'd be cool too. Like, I'd love to have the flexibility of just going elastic, then I'd never get hurt or cut anything.
Definitely. Be Joe Valentine.
I was gonna say.
Joe Ballantyne was actually my analyst on this broadcast.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey, he was awesome for us. Probably did a much better job than me. But he does an awesome job.
He's actually from, coincidentally, only like 20 minutes away from me in North Jersey.
Really? And you call it Taylor Ham too?
I do. That's the big debate in New Jersey. Taylor Ham versus...
Yeah, I think as the match is winding down, I'm just trying my hardest to take this kid down. I essentially be down 7-6, but when he gets a stall call here, right, and it was the 7-5 in the back of my head in my game. I just take this kid down one time. I got to take it into overtime at 7-7, but game top game, definitely had me that day. So then, 2 weeks later, and we beat the 5-3, we had a takedown I had the man I couldn't get, so he was a tough guy, I could make a figure him out. The team scored 14-6 going into the intermission right before the 465 weight class, which is still a really good spot for us, you know? That's a lot of bonus points we got compared to only way 2 decision wins and less than 7 points.
We could skip ahead a little bit here. There's Joe.
Show himself.
So, we got it. The change in making criminal justice for sports broadcasting, that was a really good job.
And speaking of sports broadcasting, Jonathan Miller, UNCP Sports Network intern himself. Did a great job this year with us.
Appreciate that. It was great time work. Too bad I had to end so early.
Yeah, that's for sure. And you had told me that you might want to get into this for a career, right? Broadcasting, journalism.
Yeah. It'd definitely be an interesting job, especially seeing it behind the scenes, being able to see exactly how everything works. See, here we got Caleb, one of the seniors on the team, definitely a team leader. Just always ready to go. Take him down, he's ready to take you right back down. If he takes you down, he'll let you back up just so you can do it. He's a competitor, just fired.
Yeah. We were making the first take one time, the second bring back to the center, ready to go. Hey, back, so I did cut when I cut it this year, because he was down at 149 for us last year, and dressing 165 this year. That's a big jump, you know, to spend off something weighting like that. I took Brown to say it's on more than 50 fat. He's definitely not. He's definitely a strong kid. He did a great job moving up and bumping up. That's good. He just as good, if not better. It's super hard to do wrestling. Different camera angle. It's actually cool to watch a match like this.
You kind of get to see the home team, how we react.
See how serious our coaches are. See, so some of the guys getting ready to go. That time was just getting up and moving your body around. It's nothing too crazy. Don't tire yourself out before you go out there. A lot of guys are just walking around. Probably might do some arm circles, stretches and stuff. Garrett in the back there stays. We'll see what he do.
That's an interesting balance, trying to stay prep for your match and stay mentally ready and get yourself warmed up, but also support your teammate. So it's just it's a nice little delicate balance, yeah, for sure.
I can definitely attest to that because when I was around 149, second half of the year, Johnson won the match before me. And finally, we had some close matches where I just had to throw the music off and start cheering. Even when I was 157, it didn't really matter. I had one more match to get ready, but I found myself cheering for Johnson louder and putting more effort into that in my warm-up sometimes, which I don't think is a bad thing at all. But
yeah, it could be something, bro, especially like coming after somebody. I'd always have to come after Nick Daggett or when Ronnie was here, Ronnie Petro or Jay and Logan. They put people away quick. They're putting people. My warm-up has to be really fast. Sometimes I come out on the mat 10 minutes before I'm expecting.
everybody should do a 21-minute warm-up for me. It's usually about 10. You got to do kids. Now I got crap.
Do you have a preference of whether you follow a pin or a match that goes the full distance?
Certainly, I prefer matches at a full distance, just so I know like I can run through all my stretches. I think it's warm up at the same time I wrestle, and usually requires a ton of stretching and a ton of warming up and stuff like that. And I like listening to each place and music. And plus, I usually be able to put my singles guys up and walk out there, and I have to spend a lot of time warming up when it goes hurt. But I don't know if my opinion is really good. I think it's good in the tournament. I'd much rather just get you to go to the pin and get out there. But in the pool, I like the post matches and get some crowd fired up. And not the pins don't, but it definitely helps you warm up a little better. Just like what you expect and what you expect to do.
I echo that. Just really good at being able to do exactly what you want for your warm up, get your mind right, and so you can step on the mat ready to go. Sometimes it's kind of alarming when you're turned around for a second, and before you know, you have to run on the mat. Maybe your headgear is somewhere else. You have to make sure you have all your stuff. So usually it's better, but I'll definitely get hyped for my teammate if he's getting a pin. I'd definitely rather have that happen. Go out a little off guard than, be fully ready to have my teammate move. See, Limestone guy got a headlock, but see, Caleb was trying to tap. The guy kind of was having a chokehold, closing off his airway. It's just kind of a gray area. It's sort of illegal, but if the ref doesn't see it, then really can't do anything.
That's a weird call because, normally if someone's tapping out, it's like on the back, they don't like, hey, we're trying to look for you to go out. But in that situation, I mean, Caleb Moore is a tough field. So don't wish you get scored on, but he's still tapping. So it's a weird call to make. I know he wasn't thinking that, but the score's still in the 16 or in the second. Caleb, that best position is not far on top. I wasn't really worried at all when I came down and seeing that score before the game on top. As legs again, we talked about his standing. I think Caleb is by far the best leg back on the team in the country. He was top 3 in the nation for pins at one point. This is easily the best position. I think it's one that they kind of got luck getting it right here.
That's a dangerous thing about having a go-to move or a special move that you do often, and people start researching it. I know his coach is definitely prepping for this match, telling him that Caleb was going to throw those legs in. So he was ready. Just kind of countered it.
Yeah, you're good. The kids that listen, a lot of wrestlers just say, okay, I want it. The left field is definitely ready for it. I almost think that the left field is the one night ready to better kind of slow that off. It takes a lot of discipline, but trust the process and trust the coach that they know what they're doing. But getting back on speed now, so it's 18. Okay, that's flexible, to be honest. Good guys fighting off that takedown by the edge of the mat, so.
Sometimes you don't realize how flexible you are until you're trying to defend that takedown. Be surprised what I can do, and it's just moving on 100 where all cylinders are going.
I usually on the floor, then I feel this little pain where any match. But afterwards, I cool down and I'm like, oh, I can't even forget. Something like that. Definitely very safe for this kid too. You see how he's back in the center first every time. He's kind of slowly pulled out. In the first period, he was scoring that front headlock right away. Now he's kind of putting on, doesn't scoring on, anything like that. So our position definitely like this player more in this match.
Is definitely ready to go.
And he takes time to be realistic, and I call stalling right there. That's another tactic you can use in the middle period to try to catch your breath a little bit. But if you're really paying attention to your left head, the other guy needs to move, the other guy needs to hit this phone call. Was smart for doing that too. He's kind of in the same position where he gave up 2 points in the period before, but now he's kind of very good from he gave up 1.
We talked earlier a little bit about your team's success and individual success, but the month of February, you guys really capped it off with a regional championship. But it went down as one of, if not the best months in the history of UNC Pembroke athletics. So as student athletes, as a part of the UNCP athletics family, what was that like for you guys?
So it really felt like a historical moment, especially just watching the scores go up, watching our teammates win and get that ticket to go to regionals. It was a good moment, and it felt like things were building up towards that for a while. We had a lot of seniors on the team, me and Tyler being two of them. We've been wrestling together for 4 or 5 years, so it was just like perfect way to end the season. It's too bad that it ended early. I guess that's not perfect in the season, but it's nice that we went out on that note.
I can definitely agree that it was super nice of the wrestling team finally accomplished what we set out to accomplish, but we also just see other teams do the same. We just really dominated the mountains. Track and field dominated the mountains. Just really won, then took second. I don't think there were any other two teams that were even close to that in the whole track and field race. Basketball was on fire, baseball, softball on fire. I mean, he was in Denver, but the one was on fire. So it was awesome that, we walked down the hallway and the dirty building was just lit. People were just having a great time and also wonderful and awesome season. Like Jonathan said, it just sucks that I got cut short. Because every team was really doing so well, but it doesn't take away any of the accomplishments they had before that. I think the month of February was awesome. It kind of put an exclamation point on the women's sports seasons, and we got the ball rolling to this place for this team, so it was very awesome. Really cool.
And what are the relationships like between, intersports? I mean, it's not a huge athletics department per se, so are you guys close with other student athletes?
Yeah, it's one big race thing, and like, so every single sports team needs to love it. I've seen some of the stuff, run a number of basketball games and stuff like that. And, I actually watched the Mountains conference for indoor track and field live, so I had some friends competing there. And everyone comes and supports us too. A lot of other people, softball and track and basketball, and lots of leagues and tournaments. So we all support each other and work on such a tight knit group and a tight knit athletics department here.
You got Garrett Hill. He just transferred in this year, but he was a part of the team almost immediately. He comes in, he wrestles hard, he puts his all in every practice, and he's just a great guy to be around. Great athlete. One of the voices, he doesn't speak too much, but when he does speak, it definitely it's important to hold weight. So it's always good to be good at for good people. You want to see him succeed that much more.
Yeah, Garrett's awesome. Garrett is definitely been doing the team. He was awesome close to win. I make fun of Garrett a lot because he definitely works with me. We don't have matches that were 3-2 and then we're wrestling. I was thinking a heart attack, but if I remember correctly, this match he really opened up, and it was awesome to see him do that. Because when he does, he's unstoppable, in my opinion. The right things, we fought that takedown out there today. He was there. And honestly, I can't even say he should be nothing over it. There's a fighter.
Early on in this weight class, I do want to ask you guys about preparation for wrestling, because as I said before, at least in my eyes, there's nothing like it from what I've heard. Getting up super early in the morning, running, lifting, and it's so mental too. Jonathan, we'll start it off with you. Do you think any sport compares to wrestling preparation, and what goes into getting ready for the season?
I played football for a year and a half, maybe, but wrestling's been my main sport. Pretty much the only sport I've dedicated this much time to, so I can't really speak on any other sport. But I know that we have some pain, some really good obstacles in wrestling. We have some things we have to face. So it's a personal battle, you and the other person. So the preparation for it has to be intense because the other person's coming out directing all his energy at taking you down. So our practices are definitely intense. Waking up early in the morning, working out till you throw up. You know, it is commonplace to be bleeding on during practice or have someone yelling at you. So it can be demoralizing, humbling, but the trade-off with gaining that camaraderie, that fraternity, and the success that comes with it, it's definitely worth it. As far as preparation though, yeah, it can be a lot. It can definitely be a lot. It can break a lot of people.
I couldn't agree more. I think the preparation side of wrestling will kind of scare those people away from it. The competition part's fun. The wrestling's like no matter what, but I love it. I love days and way into it, where I can finally get out there and wrestle, you know, for the training piece. But yeah, it's tough to be a wrestler. It's tough to do that lifestyle and literally every day you go to battle. What we're doing right here in this room, Limestone, is just 7 minutes of a regular daily practice. You know, it's a totally perspective. So every day you got to be running on list and just as tough. They try to mimic wrestling in a way because you need power, but also endurance and you need a lot of strength because wrestling don't try to move weight. It's basically they pick someone up and run them out of the night. It basically for me lifting them down instead of 150 because you're lifting another man with you. So gotta be strong, we gotta have good balance, so I went so crazy, couldn't stand up, this is right there, and our condition is, everyone began with round 10, our condition is, but it's tough, it's a super tough school, but I think it's the most rewarding, we definitely see that, you know, when we accomplish something, we celebrate, it's awesome, it's definitely a great way to bond with the team, it's an awesome school to be a part of, and you know, as we're talking about it, it's an individual sport, but because it's so tough, it's definitely a big team sport. You know, you guys are encouraging you, guys are heavy back there, doing match or something or anything like that. So it's a tough sport for us to have done in my life, but it's definitely what's rewarding for I've done in my life.
And when you guys look back at your careers, will you miss the grind of that preparation?
I'm not completely sure. Right now, I've had a couple months off from wrestling, out of wrestling season, and I can tell you I don't miss it now. But I'm sure, you know, there is something that you do grow to love. I don't know if it's Stockholm syndrome or what have you, but that you grow to love about just coming to practice and giving it your all and sweating and just putting everything into everything that you're doing and exhausting yourself for the final result.
I couldn't have said it better, right? Yeah. I definitely enjoy being a lazy bone and eating whatever I want to, and I would probably never ever step on a scale ever again. I love this or something, but I think I've kind of forced myself not to watch any wrestling. Just because I know I'm so but last night I couldn't help it, and then I got on to watch some wrestling. I miss, you know, I miss the competitions, I miss the practices, miss everything about it, but honestly, the thing I miss most is just hanging to, you know, that's what makes those tough practices better. You know, if you're doing it alone, I mean, anyone's doing a workout alone is one weird. And two, you have to kind of out of it. But if you're doing it once, 2 days, so they're all trying to work towards a common goal, then it makes it that much better. So I think that's what I'm going to miss the most. And like I said, right now I'm enjoying getting on and nice things for everything and things like that. I'm definitely going to miss it.
And in a second here, you guys are gonna get a shot of OT. What's he like as a coach? Because from what I've seen, he's in my conversation with him, he's the man. But what's he like as a coach?
He demands the most out of you. I think OT saw my potential before I did. He sees that with a lot of people. So it seems a little excessive. Some of his the way he goes about things. He's a really extreme person. If you see him at matches, he's either super honed in, focused, and yelling, or he's hyping the crowd up and being goofy. And he's just an eccentric character. So he's great to have around, to be around, and he wants the best out of you. So he's going to try and get it out of you, one way or the other.
And that's where the OT's super hard on me, I'm not gonna lie. He was super hard on me my 5 years here. I remember very vividly taking fifth at the Georgia Open, our first tournament this year. 6 matches in one day. Lost 2 tough ones, one overtime, and I bounced back and I ended up taking fifth. Not too bad for the first tournament. And he looked at me and said, I'm disappointed we should have won. I'm sitting dang, that's right in the heart, but it's very early on. I mean, Jonathan can sort of better, he sees the potential and you see it yourself. The more he exposed that in, the more he can grab yourself and the more confident you are yourself. And I think that was a huge turning point in my season. Because the next week I was able to beat a lot of guys that beat me before at the Pembroke Classic, and I was able to start tearing along, and ultimately this spring semester when I started seeing everything come together, what he was telling me, I didn't know, I didn't even ask. That's hard to do in college. That's hard to do as one night. It seems like when you go to me and I believe in what he said, and listen to what he said, and get everything right, and he's telling me to do it, it definitely helped me out. So he's a great coach, best coach that I ever had. You listen to him and good things are going to happen.
And there's obviously the motto for the team and the program, brave, tough, and at least from what I've seen, those aren't just words, it's a mentality. So what does brave, tough mean to you guys?
A lot. Brave, tough. And our assistant coach, Blake Shade, he 2-time national finalist. He actually had his brave, tough tattooed on his arm, if I'm not mistaken. So it's definitely something that it's a model, it's a creed, something that we take us everywhere we go. And past wrestlers, they take that with them into the real world. So brave, tough is just about that tenacity, that ability to go, that willingness to win no matter what's happening. You'll see that if you've seen Caleb wrestling this match, or Nick going, or Garrett right now. It's just they want it. They want it bad. They're going to keep going until they get it, no matter what the other person's put in front of them. It's just the unwillingness to stop it. I think that's what brave, tough is to do.
I think the echo off that is definitely being tough on the guys and guys pushing that guy around, standing on the floor. I love that. That's tough. And that's what we have to do. We have to be very tough. They even know the reason what's the last point, where they want to not get going, and never give up out there. And fight for every single game, every single second of the match. But I think brave, tough also has to do with fight off the mat too. You're probably right, make the right decisions and the hardest thing to do, you say no to the opponent, you say yes to study, you say no to skipping class, you get up and learn, and you do it again, you say any other thing that's going to hurt or hinder you in the future, and do the right thing. I think that's, sometimes for me, that's one of the toughest things. I love wrestling. I mean, I could be tough on the mat every day, not feeling well, but off the mat, that's where, the real battle is. So I think brave, tough is more just like the same. It's my place as a champion, it's like a lifestyle. Wrestling is a tough sport, but I think if you want to be good, you gotta live that lifestyle off the mat too. So that's a brave, tough thing.
Just to echo that, we've seen so many people come into the program with immense talent, all types of accolades out of high school, and not be able to keep up the same performance. Me and McCovey were both walk-ons at school at Pembroke, and it really comes down to a mental thing. It comes down to how you act off the mat, what your character is really like, how you're gonna approach every situation. So yeah, just echoing that, it's definitely a lot more off the mat than it's on the mat.
We saw Garrett Hill use this guy. I was trying to watch it while talking to him. I love that match. You know, like I said, Derek, he was like 1-2, 1-6, 5 moving heart attack. But that time it was Boston series. Man, so Brandon Sleep's on the mat now. A 184 pounder, he was a beast. I mean, he won the star with 184 pounder in this country. So I think this guy right there, he got it. And he's always fun to watch. Be right there, trying to take the shots.
It's nice. A lot of strong athletic people. You don't think they're really thinking through their moves or their actions. But if you know Brandon Sloop, you know he's considering every movement. He's breaking down what the guy's doing, where his foot's placed, and he'll tell you after the match. He's one of the guys who definitely has a photographic memory. He remembers everybody who's wrestled and exactly how he beat him and what tools he needs to beat. So wrestling, it can look like just pushing and shoving, but the foot placement, the head position, everything's important. Really making sure that you're getting in successfully, taking them down.
Everything before wrestling, your foot's an inch closer to the guy, and that's the difference between the fight without you and taking down. And I love talking wrestling with Brandon Sloop because he dissects the sport so much. I mean, just that move right there, I don't know if he gets 2 points off that, but that was a time perfectly, and I'm sure he anticipated that. And, you know, he was every single advantage 4 points. Yeah, there's just 2 point right there. The team score, I can't see it anymore, but I think if I'm not mistaken, it's 17-9. Yep, 17-9. Yeah, we're in a good spot, and our last 2 guys was not right at this point. You know, that's where some of the best wrestlers were, like the 197, that really blue rank, I think, first and second in the country at this time. I still want to really know. I thought 17-9 was a good spot to be in.
Right now, Limestone's able to get back on his feet and kind of fill each other out. It's not the most hectic match, but there's definitely a lot going on. The mental process is not stopping at all, no matter what they're doing.
Yeah, for sure. Brandon was really active in this match too. He was another one who did the heart attack. He might win 4-3 against the number 2 guy in the country, and by 1 point. The game heart attack every single time I watch the wrestle, but right here you can see him open up, and it's just opening up, pulling lots of points. The crowd goes right now, this match. Yeah, that's one of the best things to see is you get down on yourself and losing like I was this match. But seeing the Penguins come back and win is, picks you up and makes it almost even better. It's really cool too, especially against Limestone. Big rival, they were ranked ahead of us. We got to get in love with those rankings because after that, it's just a big. Those losses this season opened up and scored all the goals.
Do you think, as a program, UNCP is starting to get more national recognition?
Somewhat, I want to say yes, but even this year when we won the region, I don't think we were even ranked. For some reason they just don't like us. I think everyone in the country knows about UNCP, but we're never ranked. And so, to me, that's almost a little better. I kind of like people in the dark horse and know that they seriously. You can see it a lot of teams versus this year. We went out to Colorado. There was a team, Colorado State Pueblo, that was ranked, and that was our last match to pay. We're coming off a super tough week of wrestling. Pretty much everyone out there, and they only had 2 matches. And we were playing every day. We were just drained, but because we were prepared, because we were really tough, and we took it seriously, and then we were able to beat them. And so I think everyone now knows about us, and I almost like being the underdog. They're coming in and upsetting a lot of good teams.
one of the things about Pembroke is definitely always the dark horse in the race. And like Cozy said, there's definitely something nice about that. You know, but that Brave Stuff name does carry itself like further than even our individual name. So even if you don't know exactly who you're wrestling from Pembroke, you know that he's gonna give you his all. You know that he's never gonna stop the pace, and you're gonna have to put him down a couple of times because that's just how we wrestle. That's how our coaches tell us to wrestle and train us to wrestle. We just keep going, and we're tenacious, and we just let the other guy have it.
So the Brave reputation has spread, it sounds like. Few people know.
Yeah.
You guys had a handful of trips to some pretty far destinations. You went to Vegas, Colorado, then NCAAs were in South Dakota. So what was it like to travel the country a bit this year?
From an individual standpoint, I actually have a little map that I scratch off all the states I've been to. So from that standpoint, it was awesome. It was awesome to see the country, and it was awesome to see new places and go out pictures and have a lot of memories. From a wrestling standpoint, I go, wow, it sucked. It's hard to travel a lot and keep your body loose and control the weight. Kansas and Colorado were miserable for me the first few competitions because that was the first 2 times I was down in weight class at 149. First time I've seen that weight in like 2 years, and it was rough. I'm not gonna lie, and especially every single time you compete, you have to weigh in, and we competed 3 different times within 5 days and 6 days in Colorado, and it just takes a toll on you. So, but that's another thing I credit NC for is we just say, lower the limit of the bay. It's not like it's impossible not to make weight. It's not impossible not to do it and win and stuff like that. And so we need to just kind of, do it. I'm not going to lie, the first time we picked me up in that Colorado trip, I lost that first match and I still had 4 more. He said, what, we're shrinking off, we're back, keep going, when we get home, but now you just got to suck it up and make weight. Just get through it, and that's exactly what I did. So, but I mean, from the standpoint, it was really cool to travel the country. I've never been to Vegas, I've never been to Kansas, been to Colorado before, but I got to see different part of the state, so it really wasn't. Personally, I love traveling and seeing new places, and so that was really cool. I'm really glad to do that this year.
Yeah, definitely. It was an experience, to say the least. It was, like Cody said, the best parts are traveling and, getting to see new places. Like, I think me, Swoop, and Sammy Petticoat had never flown on a plane before. So that was my first time on a plane. So it was, it's just experiences that I wouldn't have been able to experience otherwise right there. But it was a lot of fun. The wrestling was really tough. Yeah, but the cool thing was being away from home for weeks at a time. The only people you see your teammates really brought everybody closer. I think even though that trip, it really did stress a lot of people out. Team morale was down for a little while. People are losing and they're upset about it and they're letting the coaches know. But after all was said and done, we were a much better team for it. When we came back here to North Carolina, we just had a different mindset. Everybody on the team was always ready to go out there and compete without a second thought because we've seen pretty much as bad as it can get, and we've been under all types of conditions. So wrestling just home or wrestling 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours away was really nothing compared to what we are doing.
That's true.
That's a good point. I very much so remember that we got home from that Kansas and Colorado trip. I think the day before we started spring semester classes, I think I went to like 12 or 13 or something like that. And it felt like a year that we were out there. I really was a long trip. And then I remember we went up to Kutztown just 6 days later, 5 days later, that Friday, like when the last thing the classes were ended, we drove up there early in the morning, checked into our hotel, got a workout in, and then we got up the next day and wrestled 4 matches, one of them against UPJ, who ranked second in the country. And then we came home, and I looked at everyone and I said, that's it. That's all we gotta do. You know, we got 12 hours, wrestle 4 matches, and come home. Well, that's awesome. So I think we were definitely prepared for anything. You know, we were one team in the nationals that honestly I felt sorry for whoever got messed up with the kid from UNCP at the wrestling tournament. Only because he had a phone for him. So today, we went through everything, we went through all of this team. I felt a lot of those travel trips. Feedback, it was tougher, it was friends and everything, and other teams weren't really there, weren't willing to put the time in, invest in foreign competition, and try to move the time zones, and weigh them up and lose them well. I think that honestly hurt them, you know, when you lose a tournament game, they weren't ready to invest in 5 or 6 times in one day, qualifying, stuff like that, and so I was super excited for the next tournament to perform with us to pull out the work, but you know, like I said, nothing you can do about it, but there's not a doubt in my mind we're the most prepared team there.
We'll get back to the wrestling in a second, but Jonathan, you brought up something very interesting, that was your first time ever on a plane. You and a handful of teammates as well. Were you a little nervous to start flying?
Maybe a little bit, but as soon as the plane took off, I guess I was just captivated by the sight out the window. I was like lucky enough to get a window seat, so I really didn't even think about being apprehensive or nervous after a while. It was just, nice to see things from a different perspective. I feel like that's what the trip brought us, and what wrestling as a whole brought me, and brought people who were invested and trusting the system that our coaches laid out before us. It's just you get to see things from a whole new perspective.
I can definitely attest to that too, because I actually sat in the window seat next to Jonathan, and his face was moving that window the whole time. It's cool though, I would have never got the opportunity to go with those guys either if I wasn't on the team. So just being part of the team and getting put in those unique situations and being able to experience some of that stuff. It really is, I'm super, I was back in my career and learned some of those things and those things. I'm super glad we were able to do that and travel around this year.
Right here we have Marcus Montgomery. The score still hasn't been updated, but should be 0-0, I think. And he's wrestling Rudy, can't remember his last name, but he's one of the, Matt Rudy.
Matthew Rudy.
Yeah, I think he was ranked, he's definitely ranked at this point. He's placed at nationals multiple times. Definitely that's what's on their team, one of the best wrestlers in the country, bar none. But Marcus is a tough guy. He's never going to give up. His eyes well up. Usually when he's wrestling, he's just always ready for the next things. Listening to the coaches and just trying to apply himself the best he can. And he's as strong as an ox. Like Matt might look strong, Rudy might look strong, but I'm telling you, grabbing hold of Marcus's leg is not easy.
Even if you get your arms wrapped around it, it's hard to finish. Marcus is how to do it, so, if you score on him, you're very not in it. The really good pick is to kind of wrestling. If you can pop back up and return the favor, it's just an entire way out more. Just like, Rudy usually takes guys down in 10 seconds, 30 seconds, the way Marcus is able to fuck it, even when he's still a point until this time in the match was big. We're all behind him and stuff like that. And Marcus didn't get pinned, he won the match. So we were all behind him. Fighting, giving everything he had, making sure that the best wrestler wasn't quite the best wrestler. We were loud, we were backing him up. And like I said, we're scoring 2 months right now, and even sometimes not do the wrestlers and have to circle on it. This is great. This is up 2-1. And I still got know if it's on this team, but I still got very street smash there, 11-9, but a lot of times in wrestling, the score can be seen. Brandon Swift controlled that match the entire time. I think his opponent only got like maybe one takedown because maybe made a mistake, but that, you know, on paper that looked like a pretty tough match, but Brandon controlled it, you know. Sometimes the score in wrestling is deceiving. Out of this one, you know, that dude's got a little takedown, 4-1, you're thinking, oh, he got this in the bag, this is the thing, but obviously he can work. You know, he's exerted a lot of energy, especially when he wants to get tired quick. So this is really good from Marcus and the team right now. I'm back in a great looking program.
Wrestling is one of those sports you have to always be plugged in, so you never know. You gotta always be in the match. You never know when you're able to turn the tides. You never know what's gonna happen. So you just keep applying that pressure, and eventually something's gonna give. So that's what Mark is doing here. He's having a tough time, but he's giving it all his exert, all his effort, and he's trying to get as close to Matt Reeves for more for the team than for himself. Sometimes you have to put yourself to the side and just really go out there and give it your all when you don't want to.
You talk about doing it for the team. I remember when broadcasting this, the crowd was going crazy because he was able to avoid getting pins, and that sealed it. So that right there, the ultimate sacrifice, willing to just be defensive and not get on your back.
Oh, definitely. I get a lot of credit from Marcus. I mean, a lot of guys give this game that he wrestles way too much respect, and I think a lot of times get intimidated, and sometimes they're just less nervous, and we can't really get anything going. The Marcus and stuff is all no respect. The score is 6-2, like I said before, you can see that Marcus isn't getting turned at home, being stubborn. A lot of times, Matt Reed will get the handle on it, and just lost, and guys on the back of the pin, Marcus is being really stubborn, wrestling tough. I just making sure he's not going to let the team down. You know, that's what being training tough is about too. You know, sometimes wrestling is an individual sport, but when your team needs something, they're gonna man up to do it. That's a big testament to the team, a big testament to Marcus right here.
It's moments like these that you really remember when you're down and you're getting up, you're walking back to the center, you look over and your team's cheering you on, and it just gives you that drive to never give up. Look over at these people you've been practicing with and training with and sharing food and really leading with in the room. When they're telling you to give their all, they're giving their all to you. Can't help but do your best. We're in third period, and that's really just trying to get him to his back.
We talked about the air transfer in the Pembroke. On one night, so in the second semester, we had a team in that school. They were investing daily, you know. And he was immediately getting into the team. He's an awesome guy. And we even said, when I was talking to Marcus in the locker room, making cool regionals, and Marcus was giving him pointers about Matt Reed. We were both like, we can see him, but we can find him. He said, don't worry, I'll have to get back for you. And, you know, he embarrassed Matt Reed. It was awesome to watch. I've never seen that team beat that bad. So that's another area just being part of the Braves family, you know, even if he didn't want to win it for himself, he didn't get Marcus would bend it back. And I'm sure Marcus watching the few after Matt Reed was awesome too. Even though he was not done with Matt. I mean, it is a big family, you don't want to do it for yourself, you want to do it for your brother, do it for your teammates. So that was awesome for me to experience and watch him be a part of that conversation and watching it actually happen, you know, a couple of days later, it's pretty cool.
That's a pretty epic story, I have to say. And I believe the final weight class was forfeited at heavyweight, and yeah, UNCP comes away with the victory. Guys, before we wrap things up, I want you guys to talk a little bit about some future plans for the two of you. I know, Tyler, when we had you on the podcast, you talked a little bit about what things look like down the road, but what are your plans in the upcoming few months and years?
When I listen to the podcast and even someone that did listen to it, just to that, I'm going to stick around and work a little bit. That's not relevant yet. I'm in the process of finishing my master's degree in sport administration and OTS and communication staff, so it's definitely time for me to get back to sport that's been so much to me. And I can't wait to help the guys that are coming away, but also that they're my teammates forever. They're sophomores, juniors, and seniors next year. Can't wait to help them out and help them achieve the goals just like they have to achieve mine. And ultimately, my dream job is to be a sport nutritionist for either D1 university program or something higher than that. I want to see as high as I can possibly go, but definitely want to sport nutrition to do so. I'll go do that for 2 years and we'll see what that kind of takes me. So I'm excited for the future. I don't know what else going to do this summer and what's going to necessarily go in the future, but I'm super excited. I don't have to do kind of this year and that. It's going to come from years to get around the department and meet some more people that are coming in, especially their transferring and help out the guys and the rest of the team. You know, be able to work alongside the team behind the scenes now. It's done so much for me, so I told them I do stuff for you. And I'm doing whatever it takes to make the program better and keep grateful for it.
Jonathan, how about yourself?
I'm going to be hanging around Pembroke for a little while, and then saving up for grad school, so I'm taking a little time off of school. I mean, after I graduate, take a little time off, saving for grad school. My ultimate goal is to be freelance journalist, like specializing in youth journalism, but pretty much right on the topic. But so yeah, just working towards that goal right now, just saving up.
Very cool. And don't want to put you on the spot here, but I do have a quick music question for you. Do you have an all-time favorite album?
That's a hard one. Off the top of my head, I'd have to say Stevie Wonder, Songs in the Key of Life. It's just a great album. Means a lot to me. It's full of hits, and even the album cuts are just like so soulful. Songwriting's crazy. Just a plug. I know Stevie Wonder doesn't need any more, help, but if you haven't been listen to Stevie Wonder Songs in the Key of Life. It's a great album.
Is Stevie Wonder your favorite artist?
Stevie Wonder might be the greatest artist of the 20th century. But yeah, Stevie Wonder's definitely, he's up there.
All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us here on the UNCP Game of the Week. Really, really appreciate it. Congratulations on phenomenal years here at UNCP and a phenomenal season and way to cap things off. Really appreciate it and stay safe, guys.
You too. Appreciate you having us.
All right. Well, talk to you.